If you follow Meta platforms, you probably already know that the company has a lot at stake with the Metaverse. Meta's core business has been in decline for at least 2 quarters now, and maybe 3. Shares in Meta have fallen 65% in the past year. And Meta is rumored to be cutting 15% of its employees. But CEO Mark Zuckerberg has bet the company on what he calls the Metaverse. The Metaverse is a vaguely defined concept with virtual reality at its core. But Horizon Worlds, Meta's primary metaverse, is not meeting performance expectations. The goal is to reach 500,000 monthly active Horizon Worlds users by the end of the 2022. But that figure now stands at less than 200,000 monthly active users. Already, Meta is said to be conducting stealth layoffs without making big public announcements. Meanwhile, users continue to flee the main Facebook platform. Revenue has declined for the past 2 quarters. And Wall Street analysts are expecting revenue to be down again in Q3. I am covering Meta closely because I know that this is one of the most popular subjects on this channel. Everyone seems to be weighing in on the subject and wanting to hear what everyone else is saying. What do the recent events mean for Meta, and what does its future hold? But, before we get into all of that, please press the like button and leave us a comment below. We would love to hear from you. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you are notified of upcoming videos when they are released. A year ago, CEO Mark Zuckerberg rebranded Facebook to become Meta Platforms and focus on the Metaverse. Meta is aiming for 500,000 monthly active users by the end of 2022. But, at the end of Q3, there were only 200,000 monthly active users. It was reported by the Wall Street Journal that only 9% of the Metaverse worlds are visited by at least 50 people. Most of the worlds are never visited at all. The report comes at a critical time in the company's history. User numbers for the main Facebook platform are in decline and advertisers have cut spending. Shares in Meta have fallen 62% so far in 2022. CEO Mark Zuckerberg has basically focused the company on building out the Metaverse. The central theme of the Metaverse is to enable users to work and play together. Meta created Horizon Worlds, a network of virtual spaces called Worlds. In these virtual spaces, users can engage with each other as avatars. Access to Horizon Worlds is enabled through Meta's Quest virtual reality headsets. Zuckerberg unveiled the Meta Quest Pro this week at Meta's Connect conference. The Meta Quest Pro is priced at $1,500 and contains an advanced mobile Snapdragon computer chip. Zuckerberg emphasized that the Metaverse is a multi-year, open-ended endeavor. Meta will make continuous improvements to the Metaverse. Meta plans to release a web version of Horizon for mobile devices later this year. But no specific launch date was given. Today's Facebook is very different than the one that was rebranded as Meta a year ago. User growth is slower than it ever has been. And its revenue is in decline for the first time ever. Shares in Meta are down 60% this year alone. Many less important projects at Meta are being cancelled. There is a hiring freeze. And, of course, rumors of upcoming layoffs. Meta is losing billions every year making hardware and software for the Metaverse. Apparently, managers are finding it difficult to persuade even their own employees to use Meta's flagship VR platform, Horizon Worlds. So, basically, that means that even the developers who work for Meta do not really believe in the Metaverse, at least not yet. Zuckerberg views the Metaverse as a long-term bet. He says that he does not expect it to become profitable for several more years. Zuckerberg clearly views virtual reality headsets as the next major computing platform. And Meta is the current world leader in virtual reality headsets. I want to be the one driving that shift because it is going to enable the ultimate expression of what we set out to do. Building social software, Zuckerberg said. The new Quest Pro is primarily designed for virtual reality diehards. And for people who prefer to get work done in the Metaverse. Basically, this is a step toward all 200 million of those people who get new PCs every year starting to instead do some of the work in VR, Zuckerberg said. 1 year ago, Meta stock peaked at a value that gave Meta a market capitalization $1 trillion. Only a handful of companies have ever reached that level of enterprise valuation. Today the financial landscape looks a whole lot different. Meta shares have lost about 2/3 of their value since their peak 1 year ago. Only 4 companies in the S&P 500 have seen their stock perform worse than Meta during the past 12 months. Facebook's business has always been underpinned by what is called the network effect. New users would be brought in by people they knew, such as friends and family. Then, those new users brought in other new users in the same way. Facebook users invited their coworkers and their friends just by sending them invitations on the Facebook platform. And on that went until one day practically everyone was connecting in one place. Since so many people were in the same place, advertisers decided to advertise in that place. And that led to massive growth and profits for Facebook, which is now called Meta. The revenues and profits were huge and enabled the company to recruit the best and brightest engineers to improve the platform and perpetuate the cycle. Until this year, when the cycle has now reversed. Users are fleeing the platform, and along with those users, advertisers are also leaving. Meta Q2 earnings call was an unmitigated disaster as the company reported its second consecutive decline in revenue. Meanwhile, founder and CEO Mark Zuckerberg is telegraphing layoffs and even encouraging some people to leave the company. But Zuckerberg says that it is the future of Meta, despite accounting for virtually no revenue. The Metaverse is not cheap, it is costing billions of dollars every year to build. I expect that within the next decade, the Metaverse will reach 1 billion people and host hundreds of billions of dollars of digital commerce, said Zuckerberg. So far, Wall Street investors do not seem to be buying it. Traders are heavily selling Meta stock. Some Wall Street analysts think that the downward momentum is actually an irrecoverable death spiral. I'm not sure there's a core business that works anymore at Facebook, said Laura Martin of Needham. Martin is the only Wall Street analyst to put a sell rating on Meta stock. Meta remains a dominant player in mobile advertising. Meta ended Q2 with $40 billion in cash on its balance sheet. Wall Street analysts' main critique of the company is that it is no longer a growth story. Until 2022, Meta has been a non-stop growth juggernaut. Wall Street analysts are forecasting Meta revenue to continue to decline with no end in sight. User count activity in North America has been on the decline for 2 years now. Although, the decline has been fairly slow, around 1% per year. Worldwide, the number of daily active users has increased 10% over the past 2 years. Many company observers think that Meta CEO Zuckerberg is not really interested in changing the company culture. Zuckerberg has a history of proving his doubters wrong, said Jake Dollarhide, the CEO of Longbow Asset Management. I remember when investors ran from Facebook not long after its 2012 IPO, continued Dollarhide. Investors were scoffing at the company's ability to move from the PC to the mobile world, Dollarhide recalled. But, the company proved to be a raging success in the mobile world and the stock grew accordingly. For those reasons, Dollarhide has confidence in Meta and Zuckerberg to cash in on the Metaverse. I think Zuckerberg is very bright and very ambitious, said Dollarhide. I wouldn't bet against Zuckerberg just like I wouldn't bet against Elon Musk, Dollarhide also noted. But, what do you think? Please leave us a comment below and hit the like button. We would love to hear from you. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you are notified of upcoming videos when they are released. Please share this video on social media. Thank you for watching.